Hi, welcome to our next video in our Strata workshop series. Today we're going to talk about special levies. Many people get scared about special levies because they're often unexpected and they're additional costs if you're the owner in a strata scheme. A special levy can arise for a number of reasons, and I'll talk about those in a minute. But what it means is that if there's a special levy raised in your strata scheme, it's on top of the admin fund and capital works fund levies that you pay on a quarterly basis. When a special levy gets raised, you will need to pay your share of that levy. So that is your unit entitlement. For example, if there are 20 units in a strata scheme and they're all of equal size, then each unit will have a unit entitlement of 5% or 1/20th of the total. If a special levy of $100,000 gets raised, it means that each unit would have to pay $5,000 of that special levy. If the special levy is $1 million, then your share is going to be $50,000 of that special levy. Special levies can arise for a number of reasons. The first example is a one-off project. Now that may be because you need to upgrade a lift or upgrade the foyer in your building. Once that project is complete, it's not going to recur anytime soon. So the special levy can be used to complete that project, and once you've paid it, it's not going to be something that you'll have to pay annually or even in a few years' time. Another example where special levies can occur is where there's an unplanned or unexpected event, and the strata scheme situation is that they don't have enough available funds to pay for the costs to repair or upgrade the building because of that event. In this case, a special levy will be needed, but again, it should be a one-off cost. And so once this situation is sorted out, then we should be able to go back to the normal quarterly levy situation. Another area where we see special levies arise is in newer buildings. Often in newer buildings, there are defects that may not be covered by developers or by the developer's insurance. In these situations, the owners are the only people left who can pay to have defects rectified in the building. And again, in these situations, special levies can occur. Now, depending on the situation, these special levies could continue for some period of time. And it can be the case that special levies can apply in a building for a few years. This is not common, but it does happen. So again, in this situation, the owners are having to pay the additional cost needed to fix the problems in their building. A final example where special levies occur is where the capital works fund levies are set too low. This situation often occurs because the strata scheme is not following the capital works fund forecast they've obtained, or they've got a very old capital works fund forecast. The levies are just too low, and they do have to be increased. In this situation, what the scheme is doing is saying you can pay lower quarterly levies, but every couple of years we're going to hit you with a supplementary levy to make up for those lower levies. The other thing that can happen here is that by deferring the expenditure, ultimately they'll finish up paying more. There's also a risk that the quality of the building can deteriorate over time. Please go back and have a look at the video we made about capital works fund forecasts for more information about these events. So just to recap, sometimes special levies are unavoidable. Where they're unavoidable, often they're a one-off event. And even though that involves some expense for owners, it can mean that you finish up with a better building as a result of fixing the issue or upgrading the building. In other situations, special levies can be avoided by better planning. Usually that planning involves having a proper capital works fund forecast done and then following it and getting it reviewed and upgraded. So please have a look at this video in accompaniment with the previous video we did on capital works fund forecasts. Our next video will talk about defects, another area where special levies sometimes apply. So tune in for that video to understand how these issues can affect you in your strata scheme as an owner. Thanks very much for listening.